Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks for watching. It's Monday, what date is it? It's the 12th of May. Thanks again for watching. Hope you had a good weekend. I was out in Wales, western part of Wales, and boy was it windy out there. We had a gale blowing really from the late part of Saturday morning right the way through until when we left yesterday evening, and difficulty walking. I'd have thought we were getting means there of 40-45 knots at times across Aberystwyth. It really was quite a windy weekend. It felt a lot more like April, didn't it, than May. Hope yours was a good one too. And we're kicking off the week just looking at how this improvement takes place during the later part of this week. We got high pressure that's going to be building in. You'll know this is well vaunted now, this area of high pressure. You'll have read about it, perhaps in newspapers, heard about it on the radio as well, that we're going to get a few days with this high building in. It's what happens after that that's got the big question mark over it. And if you've been following, you'll know I've been wittering on about the MJO and this slipping into the pattern that the MJO would have been predicting rather than the models would have been predicting. And it's interesting to follow this pattern, but today I'm going to stick to the models. Let's just see what the latest is as far as they're concerned. What are they suggesting? And just wanted to show you this one first. This is the temperature forecast for the next 16 days. And what you notice here, this is from the GFS Ensemble. Look, this rise in temperatures here towards the end of this week, but then look what happens through the weekend. We get this fall off in temperatures into the early part of next week. This is where low pressure, a trough, is forecast to be moving into the country, and then we see a rise taking place as we head into the spring bank holiday weekend. And also notice the rainfall too. Look, we got these spells of rain coming through this week, and then look, we get dry later on in the week. Now, there's still some discrepancies between the models, but better today than it was yesterday and the day before. This is the ECMWF on the left here. We've got the GFS on the right, and this is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow. And what these are showing is this trough out towards the west of the UK. Look, on both of these sets of charts, the GFS has it over the UK, ECMWF a little bit out towards the west. Now, that small difference at this 7 to 10 day period, which incidentally is from next Monday through to Thursday the 22nd, makes quite a big difference, because it's the difference between the GFS being fairly cool and with a showery flow, and the ECMWF being warm and fairly mild. Now, at the moment, it's really difficult to even get a wafer thin piece of paper between the two of these at this sort of distance. So this is something that we are going to have to watch. I think the overall pattern that these things are suggesting is probably about right. And I think what eventually happens is that this cold pool, this centre of low heights, slips southeast into Europe. The high builds across the top, and I think we go more into an east to southeasterly flow. That would be into spring bank week. Now, the CFS is having a little bit of difficulty in dealing with this pattern. The overall is okay. So on its MJO predictions, it's actually all right. But trying to get the detail in is really difficult. And I think this is what the models are going to face. And this is what forecasters are going to face as well. Because actually, the overall pattern's okay. We're there. We see it. It's the detail. And the fine line between it being unsettled and between it being settled, it's going to cause us the problems. So this is the forecast for this week then. High the normal heights out to the west, low the normal towards the east and towards the north. You see that trough out towards the east of the UK there. On to week 2, look. What we're seeing here is the trough still out towards the east as far as the CFS is concerned. This runs from the 18th through to the 24th. So when's that? That's next Sunday, isn't it? Through to the following Saturday. And look, still high the normal heights out towards the east. Still got this trough in place, look, but these two areas of heights trying to join here. And the CFS suggesting that they never actually make it. High out towards the east here, high out towards, the west, high towards the east there during week 3, which is spring bank week. Look, low the normal heights up towards the north. And I think what will happen is, I don't think it's got this. I think there will be a connection between these two coming through here. We'll get this low coming into here, and I think the low will tend to be down there. So this is where I think the CFS is tending to fall down. And then into week 4, so from the 1st of June through to the 7th of June, look, it tries to bring this low back in, higher than normal heights east and west. I think this is probably okay, because I think that low does drift back in from across Central Europe there and comes back into the British Isles, bringing more unsettled conditions. So it's a bit hit and miss, but I think what we can probably say from this is that Scotland and Northern England overall fare best as this high builds in towards the end of the month and the early part of June. Of course, still a long, long way away from that at the moment, and these details really could change. This is one to keep a very close eye on. Just whiz through this week. Here's today, low pressure off Western Scotland. Got this showery west to northwesterly flow across the country, less windy than yesterday. Tuesday sees the flow go more into a northwesterly direction. Again, some showers around, but the ridge of high pressure building in from the west, tending to sit on those showers. So most showers eventually towards the north and east. Wednesday again, the high off towards Southern Ireland, fronts brushing into Western Ireland and Western Scotland, but dry for many with some good spells of sunshine developing. And the high holding on to the south through Thursday, bringing dry, fair conditions here on Thursday, but some drizzle across northern and western Scotland. And then Friday, still got high pressure in place, centred off Western Wales, still hanging around a little, bringing us fair conditions, but things starting to change into Saturday. Front pushing its way eastward, bringing some showery outbreaks of rain, probably staying dry across East Anglia and also across the southeast. Before a real change for Sunday. Look, low pressure centred over the country, more unsettled conditions around, the risk of some pretty hefty bursts of rain across eastern areas and more sweeping in from the west during the day to lead us into an unsettled week next week. So after a fine few days at the end of this week, looks as if things do turn more unsettled by the end of the weekend and into the week after. But I'm reasonably confident this is a 4 or 5 day spell of unsettled weather. So probably from next Sunday to Thursday unsettled, picking up as we head into the bank holiday weekend. But please, please, please stay tuned to the forecast here. We'll keep you updated right the way throughout on any developments. So, thanks again for watching. Don't forget weatherweb.net's kept free of charge by you coming back and using the site and telling your friends about it as well. And by spreading the word means that we can get more adverts out, and that's what generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. We are a commercial site. I have a few emails in from people saying, why do you mention the adverts all the time? Well, the reason I mention the adverts is because that's what keeps us free. And when we mention the adverts, we see that our revenues actually increase. The alternative is to put an advert on the front of every one of these forecasts for a minute before you get into the forecasts, and I don't think many people will be too happy with that. So that's why I mentioned the adverts during the broadcast here. I know most of you don't mind because you email and tell me, look, it's fine, there's no problem, we know a free meal when we see one. So that's why we say it. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and whatever you're doing, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.